they are.
We're going to go back to football, actually, Bo. It's a great transition. We got one last FanDuel read to get in today. You guys know I love sports. I love them so much. And now that football is coming back, we finally get the games that I've been dying for, because when the sports aren't sports and we don't get those games, but now we get them back. And thanks to FanDuel, they help me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open up the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel's hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball and the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. So Dan Orlovsky of ESPN put out his top 10 quarterback rankings for very specific categories yesterday. And spoiler, Deshaun was not in any of these top 10, but we're going to go over the top 10s and try to figure out which of these categories Deshaun could break into after what we hope is a very successful 2024 season. So we're going to discuss these categories as we go through. If something stands out as crazy or ludicrous, or G or Earl Bull, if you think Deshaun should be over any of these guys in these top 10s, we can go category by category. But the main thing, we're going to run through all 7, figure out where Deshaun fits in these lists for next season. Got it?
Yes. I will say, I think it's hard because these are such specific categories. I mean, unless you're paying attention that closely to these specific things, it's hard to know.
Well, you could at least say Deshaun should be in the conversation for this.
Okay. Now, by the way, I read this whole article by Orlovsky, and in some of them he'll do each list, and then he has like 3 or 4 paragraphs about each one. And on some of them, he mentions guys that, well, this guy was in consideration for the 10th spot, and Watson's not even mentioned in any of them as like being close.
He was not. If you control F the whole article, you would not have found Deshaun
right.
in
Right.
So,
Yeah.
we're going to see where he fits in next year after hopefully a good 2024 season. The first of Orlovsky's top 10 was arm strength, and his arm strength rankings went like this: Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Stafford, Rodgers, Will Levis, Baker Mayfield, Anthony Richardson, Dak Prescott, and Lamar Jackson. Any qualms, beefs with this top 10?
I don't know. Does Deshaun Watson have better arm strength than Lamar Jackson? I don't think he does.
No.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. I feel the same way. I'm not sure. There's not an obvious spot for him on that list.
I actually agree with Bull right here. It's one of those lists to where I understand the assignment, in discussing the list, but it's hard to really go and say, well, Deshaun deserves to be here, there. How he has it broken down
it's tricky.
Actually, to be truthful, if he wanted, I get it. He's going with name recognition. But if he really wanted to go Joe Milton is top 5. He's top 5, right? Joe Milton throw the ball over the stadium.
I mean, is he just going with starters?
I think he's.
He did just go with starters.
I get what you're saying. I get what Mike's saying. If we being technical, then Joe Milton would be number 1 on this list.
It's a lot of, but he ain't gonna do that. I ain't trying to read Joe Milton. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I get what he's doing.
So the second category that Dan Orlovsky ranked was ball placement. And here's how he ranked the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL today in terms of ball placement. Joe Burrow 1, Tua 2, Mahomes 3, Stafford 4, CJ Stroud 5, Purdy 6, Geno Smith 7, Dak Prescott 8, Jared Goff 9, and Josh Allen 10th. Is this a category you could see Deshaun Watson breaking into next
Not
season?
really. I mean, he is not. The last 2 years, he's not been very accurate.
He ain't been accurate.
Now, he was in his Houston days, and I could see that list being a list that next year he's on if he has a good season.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, no. Going into the season, I can't put him on that list.
I've got a problem with that list.
Yeah.
Third one,
all right.
Mechanics. And this one, I'm going to defer to Orlovsky.
This one is completely impossible.
Quarterback mechanics. Here's his top 10 in mechanics. Burrow, Stafford, Herbert, Stroud, Prescott, Goff, Tua, Rodgers, Purdy, and Trevor Lawrence.
What's funny about this is Tua's, and it's probably just because he's a lefty that I think this, but he's the only one. I think about these other guys, and they kind of look like the way they throw is kind of typical quarterbacks.
It's the drop back 5-step,
right.
First read.
Notice Mahomes is not on there because he's like quirky the way he plays, the way he throws the ball.
Now, Dak Prescott, the way he throws the ball is a little weird to me. It kind of but he's the king of the hip movement.
If Mahomes could throw the ball between his legs, he would.
I wouldn't bet against it this year. Yeah.
I did
that. Next one was decision making. Orlovsky's top 10 quarterbacks for 2024 in terms of decision making. Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, and Kirk Cousins.
So I read this in if you had to put it in subtitles.
Yeah.
This is the check down ability. Check down Charlie. Which one of these quarterbacks is not going to throw the ball into double coverage? If it's a check down,
yeah,
they're going to throw it. They're not going to throw it in double coverage.
The only thing I'd say about that is that Jared Goff Jared Goff's been really good the last couple of years in Detroit, and I like him a lot. I think he's underrated, but he's thrown a lot of picks in his career. I think
Stafford's not really a check down guy. Now, Stafford's his boy. Like him and Stafford are super tight.
Yeah,
which I think is why Stafford's so high in some of these lists, but I wouldn't consider Stafford.
I don't have a problem with. I mean, the rest of the list makes some sense.
I don't have it in front of me, but I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Aaron Rodgers probably got one, if that, seasons of double-digit interceptions.
Oh yeah, I mean he's always been elite at not turning the ball over.
And so like he's always been elite. And then when you see like somebody like Pat Mahomes 7th, that's because Pat Mahomes trusts his stuff.
He'll throw it anywhere.
Yeah, he gonna try. Like
he makes some crazy decisions. Yeah, no doubt.
Like it's funny. Like where would you have put in, not to get off but where would you have placed Brett Favre in that category?
Right. I don't think I'd have him in the top 10.
Yeah, because
no, not decision.
Because he'll throw any ball.
He gonna throw it anywhere.
Right. Now you'd want him if you were making a top 10 quarterback list, he'd make the top 3.
But arm strength, he's probably top 2,
he was
3.
One.
Yeah.
Like he gonna throw ball placement. He gonna throw a couple of that in there. You be like, how the heck did he even get that right there?
I mean, let's face it. Baker Mayfield is an extremely poor man's Brett Favre.
Yes, Baker Mayfield got a really strong.
He thinks he's Brett Favre.
All right, confession. That's why I was like so amped for the Browns to draft him. Brett Favre was my favorite quarterback as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
And so like he took the whole picture on draft day looking like he was Brett, and I was all for it. He was a gunslinger. Like. Yeah. He just wasn't Brett Favre.
Unfortunately, he was shitty Brett Favre.
Aaron Rodgers has played 15 seasons as a starting quarterback, taking out last year with the Jets.
Yeah.
Earl, how many seasons do you think he's thrown double-digit interceptions? 15 full seasons.
I'm going to go 1.
Yeah, I think he's right.
And you think 11 or 12?
It's 3.
Oh, 3.
Wow.
His first season as a starter, he threw 13, 28 touchdowns that year.
Yeah.
2 years later, he threw 28 touchdowns again, 11 interceptions. And then his last year in Green Bay, he threw 12 interceptions.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
That's pretty.
And in between, by the way, in between that second 11 interception season, his touchdown interception ratio year by year, 45-6, 39-8, 17-6, 38-5, 31-8, 40-7. 25-2, 26-4, 48-5, 37-4.
Wait, 48-5?
Yeah, he won the MVP that year.
That last 4-year stretch, Mike, I believe he threw 15 picks in 4 years.
2 + 4 + 9, yeah, 15.
15 picks in 4 years. That's crazy.
Man.
Yeah, I just but now he's going to be 41 and he's coming off Achilles tear. We'll see.
He has less picks.
For his career, Earl, sorry, real quick. His career, 475 touchdowns, 105 interceptions.
That's almost 5-1.
For a career. Yeah. What were we saying?
This is pretty good.
It was about to be
You know who got a good touchdown interception rate? Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson's career, 118-45.
That's not Brett Favre level.
Hey, 118-45?
That's good. That's very good.
Very, very good.
That's very nice.
Good. But Brett Favre's touchdown interception.
Aaron Rodgers, you mean?
I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers.
Now, Brett Favre has terrible.
My boy Brett didn't care.
Rodgers might have the all-time record. So Deshaun's is 2.6 touchdown interception.
Yeah. Rodgers 4.5.
4.74.
4.74.
That's crazy.
Damn.
That's just absurd. I'm going to look into that. That might be the best all time.
I mean,
back to the Orlovsky
with a certain
list.
minimum of plays, it's got to be. Who else hasn't thrown a ton of picks?
Brady didn't throw a ton of picks, but I don't think
it's as good as that.
Did Dan Marino throw a ton of picks?
In those days, guys threw more picks because the defensive backs could do whatever the hell they wanted.
That is true.
Punch you in the face.
Back to the list. We have 2 more categories, and these 2, I think, is where you may be able to make a case for Deshaun.
Yeah.
If you like what you see this year. This is in terms of pocket presence. This is Dan Orlovsky's top 10 quarterbacks for 2024 in terms of pocket presence. Mahomes, Burrow, Stroud, Stafford, Lamar, Purdy, Jordan Love, Josh Allen, Geno Smith once again, and Dak Prescott. G, what do you make of Deshaun's pocket presence, especially the last couple of years?
I think the best of what he can do is exhibited against the Baltimore Ravens. In that game when he was hobbled, he managed to get out of the pocket and scramble for a first down. He's not the fastest dude in the world, but he's not, a bad athlete. He's not what we would call Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson or somebody or Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? But he has enough mobility to get around. One of the things that really, if you go back and watch his highlights, Deshaun Watson does not go down very easily on sacks. There's times where guys will have him in his grasp and he just will fight out of a tackle and then find somebody downfield for big plays. And that was the best of what Deshaun Watson was able to do in Houston was elude rushers, play off schedule, and then find guys not for first downs but for touchdowns.
Right.
And so, the last guest we had on talked about it. He's been able to do that a few times while he's been here, but not as much as you would significantly like to see. I always remind people we've seen him 11 times, but I digress. I think 11 whole times we watched him play.
G Petty.
But hey, to each his own.
Petty the Bush.
I think 17 games. He gets an opportunity to show you that more. I think he gets an opportunity to have that more with more dynamic receivers. By the way, we discount this. This is the most dynamic he's had in a receiving core, right? Elijah Moore is more suited into the slot, but they got guys like Jamari Thrash. Jerry Jeudy is now in the mix. Amari Cooper, David Njoku. They have more receivers. Cedric Tillman is another bigger receiver. They have the most dynamic receivers that they've ever had.
Didn't he have Cooks and Will Fuller at the same time?
Yes, he had Cooks and Will Fuller, but different type size. Will Fuller and Cooks are smaller guys. He has a route runner. He has vertical threats. He has bigger receivers. I think it's more diverse and a better offensive line.
He has the opportunities there.
Yes.
Again, he hasn't played well enough or played enough to really make any of these lists off the couple of years. Although in the
rushing one, which is the one I want to get to next.
Yeah.
These are the top 10 rushing quarterbacks. Lamar, Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Mahomes, Prescott, Burrow, Kyler Murray, and Trevor Lawrence. If you're going to make a case, I think this right now, prior to 2024, is the list that Deshaun could be argued for.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably put him ahead of the last few guys on this list, I guess.
Joe Burrow's not running around. They don't want Joe Burrow running around.
Dak never runs either.
Ever.
After Dak broke his ankle,
Nothing.
Dak's rushing yards are MIA, non-existent.
Dak Prescott got like a bad lower body now.
It's hard to see Richardson at 3. Richardson played for a cup of coffee last year.
Yeah, he barely played.
Outside of that, everybody else in that top 5, I would say that's accurate. Lamar, lost weight and got faster. Yeah. Lamar looked like he's trying to go run for 1,500 yards.
Yeah. But is losing weight a good idea when you're a quarterback?
He said he was fat last year, and it didn't work in his favor.
He said he was fat.
He did. He said he was fat last year.
So, hey, Bo, he's putting on. I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm like, nope.
He's fat. Go ahead.
Look, Lamar. I think he want to say it's something to be about being lighter. When I used to play, there's 3 different versions of G-Bush, just like Majin Buu.
There's like Luther.
There's Fat Boo,
like Luther,
Skinny Boo, and Medium Boo. Now listen, when I get down, if I ever get in the 250s, I'm the best athlete you ever seen. I'm dunking on people.
But he was strong.
But that's the thing. If I'm 250, I'm not as strong. If I get to about 272, it's a perfect mix of it. I'm stronger, I'm quicker, but I can't play at 285. That means I'm just taking up double teams and I get tired quickly and my pants need to get bigger. I don't like the 285 in ain't getting it done. So with Lamar Jackson, man, I don't got to be taking his. I got Derrick Henry back here. He going to take some of these bruises. I'm going to be running around people getting out of bounds.
And they got the one dude that got hurt last year, came on towards the end of the season. You know what I'm talking about?
The other running back.
He was a good fantasy pickup.
Yeah,
what's his name?
Gus Edwards?
No.
Gus Edwards.
No, Gus Edwards is
the guy that was just smoking everybody.
His dad played for the Ravens too.
Keith
Mitchell, right? Yeah. I was going to say it started with a K, but that's it.
So they got a nice little trio back there.
All right, give us the last list there, Mike.
The last one is second reaction. You could call this the improvisation is how he essentially
Thought
described.
you were going to struggle with that word.
Second
I don't
reaction.
understand why he has Caleb Williams on this list when he hasn't played in the NFL. That's
Here's his
stupid.
top 10 real quick. Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Purdy, Love, Caleb Williams, the rookie who's yet to play. I know, your face was the same thing I made when I saw that.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew, and Justin Herbert.
This was a garbage list. This the only one I can say is garbage. First of all, you rookies don't ever belong on there. Stop playing. Gardner Minshew don't belong on there. Quit playing around. He's a backup quarterback. You doing too much.
I think he started.
He may start now.
He's a starter in Vegas.
He's a starter now.
He's not a real starter, but he is a starter technically.
Brock Purdy is not running around improvising like that. How's he for? Like, you need to quit that. Like, you run around.
Yeah, Brock Purdy seems like a guy who does everything kind of in rhythm in the plan.
And in the system of the offense.
Brock Purdy
does seem weird.
He'd be like, play broke down. What the hell you talking about?
I mean, definitely Mahomes and Allen are 1-2.
Yes,
no doubt
like,
about
you
it.
Can, this is the list that, if Deshaun Watson had a problem, he'd be like, I should be on this list. I do this all the time.
Mahomes, Allen, Lamar all make sense.
That makes sense.
Without a doubt. I mean, I think the rest of the list, the rest of the guys, Jalen Hurts, sure.
Jalen Hurts, yeah.
The rest of the guys in that list, I don't know. Their ability to be crazy don't really stand out.
I feel like he picked them names out of a hat.
Yeah, you see Caleb Williams' name pop up a lot. Like, if I was to put money on FanDuel, I think what's his name? Jaden Daniels.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll be the rookie of the year. I think he'll have a better season than
I will say, though, that
Caleb got weapons, though.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's the most weapons the Bears have had in forever.
For a long time.
Ever.
Yeah.
And we forget that the Bears are one of them teams that they like. Like, they've been so bad for a while, but don't get it twisted. They one of them teams that'd be like, oh, it's the Bears. They own Monday night again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Bears. They own Sunday.
That's a big market.
It's a big – they loved – when the Bears are good, the Bears –
It's good for business.
It's good for business.
I mean, it's the biggest market team where there's only one team in the market.
Yeah, and it's a cult following. It's one of the forefathers of the football. They got a good tradition. They ain't never changing the uniform.
I mean, the Bears' quarterback history makes the Browns' quarterback history look good.
They've never had a quarterback.
Never.
Ever.
I think their all-time leader in yards is Jay Cutler.
Yeah, they've never had a 4,000-yard passer.
That's wild.
Jay Cutler never got 4,000?
I don't think so.
No, I don't. Are you sure it's 4? I thought it was 3.
No, it can't be 3.
They had Rex.
Jay Cutler must have had 3.
They had Rex Grossman.
When they won the Super Bowl, they had Jim McMahon.
Kyle Orton.
Oh, it is 4. Sorry, it is.
So
4.
what's the most yards ever? It's got to be Cutler, right? I mean, I would think.
Single season?
Yeah.
He's also the franchise leader with 23,000.
No, I know.
Man.
Second all-time, Sid Luckman, less than 15,000.
Wow.
1,000 years ago.
Wow.
And Jim Harbaugh, third.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's the most yards in one season? Yeah.
Cutler had, in Chicago, the most yards he ever had, 3,800. And he threw 18 interceptions that year.
Nasty work.
I mean,
Nasty work. Yeah. You guys have the worst quarterback situation I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's tough.
Bar none.
Yeah.
We got to get this last topic in because